This is the ATACR 1-8, the top-tier LPVO from Nightforce, and the optic of choice for many Special Forces operators, SWAT teams, and members of the high-speed, low-drag community. But come on, I don't care how tactical it is. Is it really worth almost $3,000? Let's find out on this episode. This is the Nightforce ATACR, a 1-8 power by 24mm LPVO, and one of the top, and some would even claim the top, optic for combat and law enforcement professionals. I got a chance to see this firsthand at SHOT Show earlier this year, but this is the first time getting hands-on with one, and this one actually is lent to me by my buddy Dave, who's a law enforcement officer, so I'm going to have to be extra careful with this before returning it to him. Now, normally I'd be showing you a truncated unboxing along with the contents of the retail box, but obviously this came straight from his personal weapon, so I don't know what came in the box. You'll have to tell me. If you happen to know, please let me know in the comments, but I'm assuming it comes with a user manual, and this is a removable throw lever, so I'm assuming it came with that. Don't know if these are the original lens, flip-up lens caps, but since it doesn't say Nightforce, I'm assuming not. And it does not come with a mount. My buddy put this mount on there. This is a American Defense mount here. No plug for them necessarily, but these are well-built mounts from all indications. Now, the unit itself, as you can see, is very nice. It feels solid, it looks solid, and has good knurling, aggressive, and robust to allow you a good amount of grip for wet or gloved hands. And its main claim to fame is its illumination, its brightness on the illumination. This is one of the first ones that came with a red dot bright, or some would call it nuclear bright illumination on the reticle. Now it has 10 brightness settings with an off in between each of the settings. And interestingly, and it has also 2 night vision compatible settings, but interestingly, it does not do a complete rotation. It stops at the lowest setting, or between the lowest and the highest setting, so you can't go any further than that. So that is interesting, because this is the first time I've experienced that with an LPVO rheostat. So it's powered by a single 2032 coin battery, and let's just check out the other turrets as well. This feels pretty solid. Not as thin, doesn't feel as thin as some other turret caps. And let's just check this out. Oh, nice. Audible, tactile positive, no slop, and they are user resettable to 0 and 0.1 MRAD per click. And let's check out our windage. Maybe just a tad bit louder, and just as tactile positive and no slop. So these are nice. These are nice turrets. And let's check out our magnification ring. And yeah, turns with a good amount of resistance. Pretty smooth. Notice something here. There is a diopter focus here. This is a locking ring. So once you have your diopter set, and I won't touch this because I don't want to mess around with Dave's focus, but once you have this locked in and you tighten up the locking ring, the whole bell and the magnification ring turn as one unit, as you can see here, and that is to provide a good amount of grip. If you don't want to run with a throw lever because you're concerned about it snagging or whatnot, you can just grasp the whole bell and turn it to change your magnification. So that is an interesting feature. So overall, this is a well-built optic, as I would expect. But let's take a look at how it looks through the glass next. Before we get into the test, I'd like to take a quick break here and talk about this episode's sponsor, Aura. For the price of a typical VPN, not only getting VPN service, but I'm getting spam blockers, junk mail blockers, fraud alerts, scam alerts, and credit monitoring. Try it out yourself for free. Go to aura.com/moondog and sign up for a 14-day free trial. No commitments. You know, identity fraud is a real thing, and with AI, it's all too easy to spoof your identity. That's why you should try out Aura. Alright, let's get back to the tests. We are looking through the Nightforce ATACR at its lowest power of 1 to get our best overall view through the glass. And we're looking for any distortion or fisheye effect, but overall this is really flat. You can see that in the teal car as I bring it in and out of the scope view. It retains its size and position, and the same goes with the telephone pole there at the very right edge of the scope image is still straight as a telephone pole. So that is a good indication of the quality of the optics here. Overall, it is sharp and clear, though a little bit of a warm tint, but overall, again, amazingly sharp. And we're going to see what it looks like at maximum magnification now. Now, the camera is going to rotate along with the scope mount, which is attached to the bell, and that's part of the design of this, so bear with me here. And let me just tilt this up a little bit so we can see a little bit more of the sky in the scope view. And this is still super clear. Maybe just a little hint of purple fringe where the branches meet the sky there, but overall this is a very clear, sharp image. I can clearly make out the trail marker sign at the top of the hill there, which is an 8-foot tall pole with a 3-foot steel sign atop it, which is a good proxy for an IPSC target at this distance of 1,400 yards. So that is impressive. All right, let's bring this over to a dark part of a nearby tree in the shade to take a look at the illumination and bring this up to its maximum of 10. And that's really bright. In fact, too bright because we're blowing out all the detail and it's just flaring out. But let's see what that looks like at 1 power, where we live with an LPVO. And again, we're going to have to rotate the entire bell and camera. But wow, that is nuclear red dot bright. Certainly very daylight bright, I would have to say. And let's even see what it looks like at halfway down its illumination range at 5. This is at 5, and I would dare say this is still visible. We're looking through the Nightforce ATACR at our reference target's downrange at 100 yards. And now I'm going to bring it all the way up to 8 power, and pardon the disorienting camera here, but the whole bell, the camera, and my mount rotate. So that is 8 power at 100 yards. Now let's take this down to 50 yards and take a look at those targets in greater detail. We're now at 50 yards and we're looking at the same reference targets at 1 power, and let me rotate this and bring it over to 8 power, and let's take a look at our reference targets. Good color fidelity in our color reference chart on the top left, and on the bottom left I can easily make out fine details like 2 .22 caliber bullet holes below the reactive sticker target. And in our Air Force optical resolution chart on the bottom right, I can make out both horizontal and vertical lines down to element 6 in group -1. And with my naked eye, I could even make out element 1 in group 0, which is outstanding. And if my memory serves me correctly, that's the same level of resolution and detail that I was getting with the Vortex Razor HD, but that's at 10 power. This is at 8 power. So that's the Nightforce ATACR, and I want to thank my buddy Dave for lending me his personal optic for me to test in this episode. It certainly lives up to the hype. In terms of its build quality, its feature set, and its optical performance, very impressive. It has a fairly decent eye box, and at 8 power, this is as bright and clear as some 10 power optics that I've tested. And one other way this is better than most first focal plane LPVOs out there, this has the nuclear bright illuminator here that at 10 power is certainly daylight bright. Even dialed down to 5, it's daylight bright and brighter than most LPVOs at their maximum. So yeah, very impressive. And with or without the illumination, I was able to easily get on target. So I totally understand why this is the optic of choice for many special forces units out there, SWAT teams, and just regular law enforcement. So yeah, if you have the means, by all means pick up this premium optic. And by premium, I think this has a street price over or about $3 grand. So yeah, well out of my budget. But if it's in your budget, check out my full write-up at moondogindustries.com. I've got product links in there as well as more information about this product. And if you use those links, it helps support this channel with a very small commission. And of course, you could just hit the like button to support this channel and my efforts here. It's absolutely free. And of course, consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already subscribed. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell icon. It just takes a second and it's absolutely free. So thanks for doing that, and thanks for taking the time to watch this video. You be safe out there. Moondog, out. Hey, I'd like to know what you thought of this video. Leave me a comment or chat with me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, MeWe, Instagram, or Locals. And if you want to see all of my videos, go to moondogindustries.com.